we'll be revising the new chapter today, which is the transportation in plants and animals. So, when I talk about the meaning of the transportation, it means to transfer something. So, or I can say to pass on something, right? So, in the plants and the animal, how does the food or how does the other materials or how does the other substances pass through or transfer through from one part of the body to the other part of the body, or I can say from one organ to the other organ.
Yes, ma'am.
So this thing we'll be learning in this chapter, that how does the animals, in the animals we are going to talk about the human, so how we transport the substances like the oxygen, carbon dioxide, then the nutrients, minerals, all those things, how do we transport. And then in the plants we will be learning how food and the water or the minerals get transported. So here, this picture is all about the circulatory system. So when we talk about the circulatory system, it includes the blood vessel, and the heart. So these three are the major component of the circulatory system: blood, blood vessel, and heart. So you can see this person is actually. I'll just zoom it up. So, oh, you can see now here in the center, what is there? The heart is there. So in the center, we have the heart. Then, here surrounding, you can see the violet color and the red color. They are what? They are the kind of the blood vessels which will be helping the different forms of the blood to pass through. And the body of the person, whole body is covered with what? It's covered with the blood for the transportation. So these are the three major components which are essential for the circulatory system. Starting with the first one is the blood. Yeah, we all have seen the blood so many times in our life. So accidentally, unaccidentally, anyways, like we have seen it. It is a red color fluid, and this blood is called as the connective tissue. So when you're going to come in the ninth class, we'll be learning about this. So blood is called as connective tissue. The reason why we call the blood as connective tissue, because it helps in connecting the different parts of the body or different organs of the body. Like if I talk about the heart or maybe the lungs, they are connected together with the excretory system, with the kidney. Why? How? With the help of the blood only. So different parts of the body or different organs of the body are connected because of the blood, and that is the reason the blood is called as the connective tissue. The red colored fluid that flows or circulates inside our body is called as blood. It acts as means of transport for food, oxygen, and carbon dioxide in our body. So what happens because of this blood? They will be transporting, the blood will be helping in transportation of the food, the oxygen, and the carbon dioxide. So whatever the oxygen we take in or whatever the carbon dioxide we release outside, that is happening, the movement is happening or the transportation is happening because of the blood only. Now the different components are there of the blood: plasma, red blood cell, white blood cell, and the platelets. So these are the four different components, and they have the different functions in our. Just give me a minute. Hmm. These are the four different components of the blood by which the blood is made of. Now you can see here from the body of this child, they have taken out the blood. And now when we take the blood out of the body, and when we keep it for some time, we will be able to see the different layers of it. So you can see the down one are the red blood cell. So from the whole blood, what happened? The different components of the blood got segregated. The down one, it is the red blood cell. And in between this, the skin color and between the red color, you can see a center pink color line is there. Those are the white blood cells. Then we have the plasma at the top. So plasma, they are present 55%. Red blood cells, they are 41 percentage. And in between, we have the white blood cells, they are just 4 percentage in our body. So that is how the composition of the blood is there in our body. Now coming to the plasma, what is plasma? So if we see the plasma, you might have seen like sometimes like you will be getting yellow color fluid out of your body when like when the blood comes out after a few days, that red color converts it into the yellow color substances. So that is called as a plasma. So plasma is a plasma is a clear straw colored liquid portion of blood that remains after red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets are removed. So once we are removing all these things from our blood, so what happens? Only the plasma will be left out. Then we have the next one. They are called as erythrocyte, which are the red blood cell. This is very, very important. Now, when you're going to come in your 8th grade, ninth, and all, everywhere you will be hearing this word. Till now, you were hearing that red blood cell. RBC is called as a red blood cell. But actually, this C does not denote cell. It is called as corpuscles. Okay. So, the full form of RBC is red blood corpuscles. So generally we are saying cells, which is also correct, but we should use always a better way, better word for it. So red blood corpuscles. Corpuscles means cells. So group of cells are called as the corpuscles. So that is the reason that we should use always the corpuscles, not the cells. So if you write cells, that is also okay. But if you write corpuscles, that is much better. So red blood cells, other name is erythrocytes. So let me open the Hmm. Now, as I told you, RBC, it is the red blood corpuscles. It's called as the red blood corpuscles. Now, the other name of the red blood corpuscles is what? Erythrocyte. How it is erythrocyte? Erythro basically means red color, and cyte means cells. So they are what? They are the red blood cells. So that is the name has been given to it, erythrocyte. And what do? They help in the transportation. They help in transportation of oxygen. So whatever the oxygen we are taking in our body, that is transported because of what? Because of the red blood cells only. So they are red colored spherical and biconcave cells. They contain a protein, a very, very important point. The red blood cells, they are red in color because of a pigment called as the hemoglobin. So they have the pigment called as hemoglobin, and due to presence of this hemoglobin only, the blood appears red to us. Fine. So the pigment name is hemoglobin, and because of this hemoglobin only, the blood appears red to us. Now, in this hemoglobin or in this pigment, there is an element called as iron. So iron is present in this hemoglobin, and that is the reason like sometimes you might have heard like there is deficiency of hemoglobin in the body. So if the doctors they are saying that there is deficiency of hemoglobin in your body, it means there is deficiency of the iron in our body. So if we want to increase the hemoglobin amount in our body, what do we need to do? We have to eat the sources of iron, like spinach. So spinach is a very good source of the iron. So what we should do? We should start eating them. So anyhow, whatever the content has the iron, we have to start taking them if we want to increase the amount of the hemoglobin in our body. So they contain a protein called as hemoglobin, which gives red color to them. Hemoglobin is the carrier of oxygen. So why basically what the function of hemoglobin they will be doing? First of all, they will be providing the red color to the RBC. The second thing, they will be acting as a carrier. So what do they do? Hemoglobin as hemoglobin as so this hemoglobin, this is HB is hemoglobin. So this hemoglobin, they will be joining with what? They will be joining with the oxygen, and that is why they are acting as a carrier. So hemoglobin join with the oxygen and they then transport it to the different parts of the body. And that is the reason that our whole body gets the oxygen, right? It is not only one part of the body is getting it. So through the blood, the whole body, whole our body system is getting the oxygen, because hemoglobin is helping the oxygen to get connected and to get transported to different parts of the body. Am I clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Manasvi, Yashwant?
Yes, ma'am.
Yashwant, what about you? And children, turn on your video. So, okay. Now, coming to the next one is the white blood cells. So, white blood cells, they are called as leukocytes. Now, I'll tell you why do they called as leukocytes. So, red blood cells were called as erythrocytes. White blood cells, they are called as leukocytes because leuko means colorless and cyte means cells or corpuscles. So, leukocytes, they are what? They are the colorless cell. And that is why they are also called as the white blood corpuscles or like white blood cells. So since they are colorless, they are called as the white blood corpuscles. So they are also called as the leukocytes. They are the cells of the immune system. So these WBC are very, very important as like the RBC. Why? Because whatever the germs we are taking into our body, those germs has to be killed actually by someone, or they should not be affecting our body. So for that we have the white blood cells, so that whatever the germs enter, the white blood cells will start fighting with them and we can be safe. But sometimes what happens, our body does not fight with it, right? Have you heard sometimes, like maybe your parents are calling, maybe, or in your school your teachers will be telling you that the word immune, have you ever heard it? Immunity.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by that, immunity?
Ma'am, it's like invincible or like unstoppable.
No, immunity is not unstoppable. Manasvi and Kritvik, any idea about immunity? If I say uh, so and so person's immunity is good, what do you mean by that?
Ma'am, is it the energy?
Not the exact energy, but kind of like I can say that the power to fight against a disease, that is called as the immunity. During the COVID time, you might have heard it. We have to increase the immunity of the person. We have to give the immunity booster to the children, right? So immunity means the power to increase the functioning of the body or to power to fight against a disease in our body. All right. So what happened? We have the white blood cells in our body. They will be fighting against the germs. But in some of our body, these WBC are not present in good numbers. In that case, the germs will be entering into our body. They will not be able to die because we do not have the sufficient number of the white blood cells. And that is the reason we will be getting the cold cough again and again frequently, or we will be getting the fever again and again. And that is also the reason, like, whose immunity was not good during the COVID time, those people, they were died actually. The death happened because of this immunity, because their immunity power or their immune system was very weak. They were not able to fight against those virus, and that's the reason that ultimately they were dead. So that's why you are like small children, you are small kids, still you can increase your body immunity by eating healthy food. So the more you eat healthy, the more you will be, your body will be able to fight against the disease, and your immunity power will also be increased. Fine. So that is what the immunity is. So power to fight against the disease or power to fight against the germs. So if I say your body has a good immunity, it means your body has a good immunity to fight against the diseases. If I say your body has a weak immune system, it means it does not fight against the diseases. So weak means it cannot fight, and good means it can fight, or strong means it can fight against the diseases. So it's up to you how you are going to, make your body to work on your good immunity or your weak immunity, how you're going to work on. So that's why eat healthy. So because whatever you eat right now, like in this age, is going to reflect when you're going to grow up. It's not like now you have eaten, now you'll be getting the immediate result. No. So whatever you eat now, it will be reflecting after 3 to 4 years in your body. So that's why start working to it, because we never know in the future what type of diseases are going to come, right? We are never aware of it. So we were not aware of the COVID-19, but ultimately we all have faced it. So that's why be ready with all the kind of the precautions what you can take. Eat healthy, which is like very, very important. Immunity should be good. So they are also called as the bodyguards. So why they are called as bodyguards? Because they are protecting our body. Because they fight with the disease causing germs and foreign invaders and kill them. So if we have the good number of WBC, then they can kill them. They can kill the germs and all. But if the number of the WBC are less, then they cannot do anything. The third category are the platelets. Platelets basically they are called as thrombocytes. So thrombocytes actually is a word derived from a pigment called as thrombin. So thrombo is basically a pigment called as thrombin, and cyte means cell. So that is the reason they are called as thrombocytes. They are small, colorless cells fragments in our blood. They form clots and stop or prevent bleeding from cut or wounds. So basically, you might have seen when we get injured, during that time, the blood will be coming out. But after some time, that blood will stop flowing. And why does it stop flowing? It stops flowing because of the blood clotting. So if blood stops coming out further, it has to be stopped actually. If does not stop, then blood will be keep on flowing outside the body, and we might die because of the loss of the blood. We can die. That is why we should have this blood clotting, so that after few minutes, what happened? The blood will stop going out, and whatever the blood is there, it should be there in our body only. So that's about the components of the blood. Now coming to the next topic, which are the blood vessels. Now vessels means utensils, right? In our home, we have the vessels, different type of the vessels. So tell me one thing. So do you have you might have seen like your mother? Is she preparing the chapati in the kadai? Is she?
Yes.
Yes. Chapati in the
Wait,
kadai?
no, no.
No. Chapati on the tawas only, right? We have the
Yeah.
tawas for chapati. And what about the tea? Is she preparing tea in the tawa? On the tawa? Tea on the tawa? Have you seen anyone making tea on the chai on the tawa?
What is tawa?
Tawa, a
Describe.
round, a flat like structure. I'll just show you on the Google, because it's like I'll
No,
show you. Hmm. I'll show you now. So this is tawa, Kritvik.
Yeah.
Okay. So is she preparing tea on this? No,
No.
right? No.
No.
So for every food item, whatever we actually are making or preparing, has one proper kind of vessels. For tea, we have the separate vessels. For chapati, we have the separate vessel. For making the rice, we have the different vessel. Maybe a rice cooker we have, right? For making the idlis, they have a separate vessel, right? So all the different food items have the different vessels. Same way in our body also, to carry the different type of the blood, they have the different type of the vessel. Because two forms of blood are there. One is the pure form, and the second one is the impure form of it. Pure form means the amount of oxygen is high. Whereas if I talk about the impure form, means in that the amount of the carbon dioxide will be high. Right? So two forms are there, pure and the impure. When I talk about pure form, it has a high amount of the oxygen in it. And in the impure form, the high amount of the carbon dioxide we have. Now, which should be used by us? The pure form, the impure form?
Pure.
Pure, good. So pure form should be used by us, and the impure form just we have to remove it out of the body. So that is why we have the two different vessels to carry them. So if we have one single vessels, it will be very, very complicated for us, and our body will also not be functioning. Because if two different forms of blood are coming together to our system, then it can create a poison, or the poisonous substance can be created. That is why we have the different vessels in our body, so as to segregate them and we can use them separately. So this pure form is known as the oxygenated blood, and the impure form is known as the deoxygenated blood. So okay, I'll play a video.
Transportation in Animals and Plants, Part 1. Circulatory System. Hello friends, do you know that we need food, water and oxygen to stay alive? How does the food, water and oxygen reach the different parts of our body? Have you ever tried to hear your heartbeat? Keep your hand on your chest and try to hear the heartbeat. Have you ever seen the blood vessels on your hands? What is their work? Come, let us go with Sarita and Rama to their school
Okay,
where a doctor...
before now completing this video, I have a question for you all. Manasvi, could you please turn on your video? Yashwant, you also? Okay. So, generally, do you know how to make the structure of human heart? How to draw it?
Yeah.
Which structure do you know how to draw it?
Ma'am, the external and internal, both of them.
Okay. What about Kritvik?
What did you do?
The human heart structure, do you know how to draw it?
Yes, ma'am. And I know a bit of internal also.
Okay, great. So sometimes like you might have seen we are just drawing the human structure like this, human heart structure like this. Why so? I'll just share the screen and I'll just ask you why we are drawing uh the structure like this. So why we are drawing the human heart like this? Any reason is there? Like always, like you might have seen, if anyone is writing, drawing, they will be drawing with heart shape like this. Why so? What is the logic behind it? Or simply it is easy for us to draw, then that's the reason we are drawing like that?
Ma'am, because the human heart is a bit heart-sized shape, like that. A cone shape.
I think I told you before, I guess in the previous classes might be. Correct, right? I guess, yes, I think. So, the reason why we are drawing that, because the size of the human feast. So, our hand is basically the size of the feast, right? So, when we close both of our hand like this, we get this shape. So, you can see, like you can close your both the hands like this. The two together fist. When you look like this, your hands will be like this, right? The structure will come like that. And that is the reason we draw the heart like this in a very simple form. Fine? Because when we join, this is the size of the human heart. This fist is basically the size of the human heart. So this fist, when we join with the second fist of the hand, we will be getting this shape. Like this shape we will be getting. And that is the reason we usually draw it like that. All right.
Has come to conduct a checkup. The objectives of this video are A. To understand what is blood and getting information about its component. B. Getting information about blood vessels.
Children, today a Dr. Didi will come from the hospital in the village. She will conduct your annual health checkup.
Okay, teacher.
Shyam is absent today also?
Teacher, I had gone to his house yesterday. He had high fever. His mother told me that his blood tests have been conducted.
Okay. Thank you, Sarita.
Teacher, why has Shyam's blood gone for getting tested?
Rama, sometimes when we are unwell, the doctor get our blood tests done
So you
to
might have
find
felt
out
this thing,
what
like if we are not well, if after taking medicine also we are not getting cure, in that case, the doctor will be taking out the blood, and through the blood they'll be finding out what kind of problem or what kind of infection we have.
disease do we have. Come children, now go in pairs and get your checkup done. Rama and Sarita, both of you go first.
Come, children. What is your name? Hello, Dr. Didi. My name is Sarita. Sarita, now you take a long and deep breath. Now give me your hand. Dr. Didi, can I ask you a question? Yes, sure, Sarita. One of our classmates is unwell. His blood tests have been done. Can you tell us why his blood tests were conducted?
Didi, my mother says that if I eat green vegetables, it will help in increasing my blood. I do not like...
So green vegetable contains the iron, right? That's the reason, like it will be helping us, our body, to increase the blood.
spinach at all.
You girls have a lot of questions. Let us do one thing. Once I finish checking all the students, I shall sit with all of you and answer all your questions. We shall understand about blood and blood vessels.
Dr. Didi checked all the students one by one. Then she collected all the children.
Come children, now all of you are doctors and I am your patient. Rama and Sarita, come here. Take my stethoscope and doctor's coat and conduct my checkup. Wow! Children, all of you are conducting the checkup very efficiently. Today, Rama and Sarita had asked a few questions about blood and its functions. Come, let me answer those.
Dr. Didi goes and gets a poster of the circulatory system from the biology class.
Didi, what are these blue and red pipe-like tubes?
These are the blood vessels and the heart is in the center. Do you know, children, how many times does our heart beat in a day?
No, Didi.
Our heart beats 1 lakh times in a day.
Our heart does a lot of hard work. No doubt it is the strong.
So it's a small organ, but yes, it is the most powerful organ of the body, and almost 1 lakh's time per day it beats.
Strongest part of our body.
Yes, you are right. The heart works like a pump. Because of the pump, blood flows smoothly to all the organs of our body.
Didi, isn't blood a liquid like water?
Yes, children. Blood is a liquid like water. It has different types of cells suspended in it. The fluid part of blood is called plasma. It constitutes 55% of the blood. Plasma is yellow in color.
What about the rest 45% of the blood? What constitutes it? And if plasma is yellow, then how is our blood red?
Didi, my older sister is in 11th standard. She was telling me once that blood constituted of red blood cells.
The video is paused.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
Okay, I think the network problem was from my side. That's why I got disconnected.
Didi, isn't blood a liquid like water?
The blood has one type of cells known as the red blood cells. They contain a pigment known as hemoglobin. It is because of this pigment that our blood is red.
Similarly, like because of the presence of chlorophyll in leaves, they are green in color.
Very good. It is a wonderful simile, Sarita.
Didi, once I had a lot of weakness and the doctor had said that the level of hemoglobin had reduced in my blood.
Yes, children.
So, you can check it by yourself also whether in your body you have the appropriate amount of the blood or not. Yashwant, Kritvik, Manasvi, kindly turn on your video. So, how you can check basically like with the help of your nails, if your nails are white in color or if it has the white small mark like structure on the nails, then it means you have insufficient amount of the calcium and the hemoglobin. So, if your nails are complete red, then you are good with the hemoglobin amount. But if they are white in color, at the same time you have the white color mark on the nails, then the hemoglobin content will be less. Or else second way is also like while climbing up the staircase, you might have noticed like maybe 30 staircases are there. While climbing up those staircases, after maybe some 11 12 stairs, you feel you try breathing more faster, you start saying like this. So if you have that kind of thing while climbing up the stairs, then it means you have the deficiency of the hemoglobin in the body. Fine. So that's what we call as a anemic. So that particular child is anemic. Anemic means deficiency of the blood or the deficiency of the hemoglobin in the body. And if those staircases, 20 staircases, you just cross them without any kind of breathing increase in the breathing power and all, then no problem in the body. You have the good amount of the hemoglobin in the body. Fine. So that is how you can check, either through your maybe palm, maybe fingers, or maybe because of the climbing stairs also you can do check it whether you have the good amount of hemoglobin or not. But certainly at this age of yours, until your grade 10, you will be finding that you have a little less kind of hemoglobin in your body. So that's why eating healthy food habit will be increasing your amount of blood.
Hemoglobin does not only give the color to the blood but also binds with the oxygen and transports it to all parts of the body and ultimately the cells.
The doctor had prescribed me to eat green vegetables and fruits.
So that is why the doctors will be asking to eat the green vegetables, because it has the iron in it, and iron will be increasing the hemoglobin amount in your body.
Yes, because green vegetables are rich in iron and iron helps in the increase of hemoglobin.
Oh, so this is the reason why my mother asks me to eat spinach. Now I understood.
My sister had told me that along with red blood cells, there are white blood cells also present in the blood.
Yes, children, the blood also consists of white blood cells or WBCs. They are also known as soldiers of our body.
The soldiers of our body? Why is that?
What do the soldiers do?
They protect our country.
Yes, similarly, the white blood cells, also known as the WBCs, help our body fight with various diseases.
Oh, what happened, Sonu? Look, your finger is bleeding.
Nothing much. My finger got stuck in this shelf.
Come, let me apply some Dettol.
Didi, when we fall or because we get hurt, our blood starts oozing out. But after a while, it stops. But there is a formation of a clot there. Why does this happen?
There are another type of cells present in the blood known as platelets. The clot is formed because of their presence.
Friends, like we need good roads for transportation, similarly, how does our body conduct transportation of various constituents?
We had read in the chapter on respiration that oxygen is transported by the blood and it also carries the carbon dioxide and undigested food too.
Very good observation, Rama. The blood conducts transportation with the help of the blood vessels. These blood vessels are known as arteries and veins. Look here in this poster. These red arteries carry oxygen-rich blood from the heart to all.
So, two different types of the vessels you can see in this picture. The red color, they are the arteries, and the blue color, they are called as a vein. So, arteries basically, what do? They will be carrying the oxygenated blood. Or I can say they will be carrying the blood which will be rich in the oxygen. So three types of blood vessels are there: arteries, veins, and the capillaries. Arteries, what do? They always carry the oxygen-rich blood. So the main feature of the arteries are that they will be always carrying the oxygenated blood, or the blood which is rich in oxygen. But there is one artery called as pulmonary artery. This pulmonary artery is the only artery which carries the deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood means the blood which is rich in carbon dioxide. So all the arteries of our body will be carrying the oxygenated blood except the pulmonary artery. And these arteries, they will be taking the blood from the heart to all parts of the body. So they will be transporting the blood from the heart to the all part of the body. And they have the thick walls. So their walls are thick. Whereas second type of the blood vessel is what? The veins. They are the blood vessels that take the carbon dioxide rich blood. So what do they carry? They will be carrying the blood which is rich in carbon dioxide. And that is why they are called as deoxygenated blood. But there is one vein called as pulmonary vein. What do? They carry the oxygenated blood. So there is only vein which carries the oxygenated blood, which is the pulmonary vein. So arteries, they will be carrying always oxygenated blood. Veins will carry always deoxygenated blood. The only artery which carries the deoxygenated blood is the pulmonary artery. And the only vein which carries the oxygenated blood is the pulmonary vein. So the arteries have thick wall, whereas the veins have thin wall. And the special feature of the vein are that they have the valve. Valve, basically, they are the opening. So they have the valve which allows blood to flow only one side, which is one direction. So always with the help of the valve, what happened? The blood will flow in only one direction. It does not go back. It will be keep on flowing to the forward direction, not in the backward direction. So this is a special feature of the vein. Then capillaries. Basically, capillaries, they are the small blood vessels and they will be connecting the arteries and veins together. So the place where the arteries and veins, they get connected together, they are where the capillaries present. They also have the thin wall and they allow the oxygen, nutrient and carbon dioxide to pass on. So these are the three different types of the blood vessels: arteries, veins, capillaries. Arteries, they carry the oxygen-rich blood. Veins, they carry the carbon dioxide-rich blood. 1 minute, children. And the capillaries, they will be connecting the arteries and the veins together. Arteries, Only pulmonary artery carry the oxygenated blood in the veins. Only pulmonary veins will be carry the oxygenated blood. So any doubt till here you have children?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
All parts of the body. And these blue-colored veins carry carbon dioxide-rich blood from all parts of the body to the heart.
In this poster, the arteries are seen to be further dividing into smaller vessels.
Yes, children. On reaching the tissues, they further divide into thinner tubes known as capillaries. The capillaries join up to form veins which empty into the heart.
Didi, the heart does the most important job in our body. It keeps beating throughout the day. Can you please tell us about its functions?
Yes, sure, children, but I have to return back to the hospital now. You all try and remember all the information I have given you today.
Thank you, Dr. Didi.
The Dr. Didi gave such interesting information. All the children had become like doctors. All my questions were also answered. But I want to know, like Rama, that how does our heart keep beating without stopping for our whole lifetime? We will look for the answer to this question in the next video. We shall meet soon, friends.
So that's about the blood vessels and the components of blood. Now in tomorrow's class, we'll be discussing about the structure of human heart. How does the doctors, they hear our sound with the help of the stethoscope, that we'll be discussing. At the same time, we'll also be discussing how the plants, they transport the food, water, and the minerals. So these things we'll be discussing in tomorrow's class. For coming Sunday, I think you have the subjective test, right? And it will be of chapter, I guess, heat. Let me confirm you. Yes. So coming Sunday, you have the subjective test of chapter heat. So prepare well for the test. Chapter heat will be there. Same pattern. 3 questions of the 4 marks and 3 questions of 6 marks will be there. And as soon as you complete your test on Saturday, you need to upload it on the WISE app, as well as a PDF you need to send me personally also for the correction. All right. Manasvi, anything you want to ask about the coming Sunday's test?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, how do you actually have to upload it? Like,
on the WISE app, when you go, there will be a assessment tab. Okay, click on the assessment tab. There you will be getting the option to upload it.
okay, ma'am.
And there itself you will be finding the question paper also. So Saturday at 5 p.m. Saturday on the evening 5 p.m. itself, you will be able to see the question paper there on the screen under the assessment tab.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, children. Then we'll meet tomorrow.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh,
Bye.
ma'am.
Bye.